again. So I was eating dinner with my grandma. Surprisingly, she made dinner for once, and I was like really surprised and happy about that. Sorry, there's something on my screen. But like watching her, it just like, I guess like because I'm sick, I was all concerned that she would get sick, so I got all like my maternal instincts or whatever you want to call them were like enacted or something. And I was just like, every time she like, I literally set our place settings like 10 feet apart as far as I could make it stretch because I didn't want to get any close to her. And then I've been staying in my room, which I do all the time, but I've like shut the door, totally secluded myself, being like, this is the quarantine zone. Like, I cannot let anything near grandma. Anytime I'm talking to grandma, I'm just like step far away as possible without being able to hear her and her not noticing. And then like when we were eating rice and she asked if I wanted more rice, I washed my bowl, which this probably would have like been way too much, but like I washed my bowl before I gave it to her because I was like, the contamination germs are just gonna get in the rice from the rice paddle touching the rice and then the rice touching my bowl, and like for some reason that was just like, it's gonna get contaminated and I don't want to get my grandma sick, so like no, I'm not letting it touch the rice. And so I washed my bowl before I had my second bowl of rice, and then I was just like watching my grandma being all like, stay away, distance, careful. And like, it just made me realize, because like I'm here because I live with my grandma because I couldn't live with my mom anymore. And I can't live with my dad because he's going to Honduras literally like maybe a week or two from now. All that while he's going to be working. It might not even just be a full week. It might be half a week that he's leaving to Honduras, which is in Central America. So, like, I'm not going to even associate or talk to him at all. And then, or if I do, it'll be on his terms because he'll be so busy in Honduras. And, so I can't live with my dad, and I can't live with my mom. And so I'm living with my grandma because I have to, but at the same time, I'm like, I need to be here for her because otherwise she's just going to be alone wasting away. And that's what I've always thought, and I've always thought of it as a hindrance and like a burden for me, and like it's so terrible. And like I feel like what frustrates me is that my grandma, she's so stubborn. It always gets to me that she's so stubborn. She like refuses to admit any sort of humiliation or any sort of defeat. And so she still thinks she's just like she was like 10 or 20 years ago and is perfectly fine. And her memory might be fading a little bit, but she's perfectly fine. She's got everything down. She's like, she can walk around and do shit and drive and just like she used to. And it's like, it's not like that anymore. And my grandma is just getting weaker and weaker because of that. And I think her slow realization of this is what's making her like upset. And so she used to be really, really short-tempered with me whenever I like pointed out a weakness of hers, and now she's just kind of like admitted defeat, I guess, kind of. But it's not I'm too weak to fend for myself, so I need your help now. No, she still thinks of it as I'm a hindrance to her because I'm holding her down. And she, like, even though she knows she's weak, she doesn't want me taking care of her. She's always talking about how I'm not good enough and how she needs, like, other family to take care of her, which at first really hurt my feelings, but now I'm used to it. I know I'm not the most prime person to take care of her. I get that. Okay, I'm a 16-year-old kid who has a stressful high school life and who currently now is sick, and it's not a good environment for either one of us. But like, it's what we've got, so we have to fucking deal with it. And my grandma just refuses to accept that, and it's frustrating. But also, I've realized while I was sitting with her eating dinner, that it's not just me, that like, it's not just her fault, it's mine too, because whatever I've been doing to deal with the problem of living with my grandma, the burden of my grandma, I've been literally just living at school and then coming in here and then closing the door and just procrastinating on homework, watching YouTube videos, or doing homework, and then getting upset, and then listening to music, doing my own little thing, and then occasionally come out to eat dinner. If she makes dinner, which she usually doesn't, so I'll make the dinner, or I'll heat up something, and then I'll just go back in my room and sleep. Or make a video, too, and rant about it, and talk about how bad my grandma is, or how bad or funny or weird my life is because of school. But, like, I'm truly just avoiding the problem of my grandma, who's, like, I'm supposed to be her support system, but when I try to be her support system, she refuses me, so I get frustrated and just give up. And it shouldn't be that way, because now, when I'm with her, it's like I feel both guilty and rebellious and irritated, and it's all these different feelings, and that's why I just don't like being near her, because I feel all these feelings, and it's just really sad, and I've just kind of been ignoring her, sort of, and, well, not sort of, I have been ignoring her, and it's really sad, and I just shouldn't do it anymore, and so I'm ranting to this video about it, instead of actually dealing with the problem, which I will deal with the problem shortly. I just wanted to rant about it because, like, I just feel like I've been subconsciously avoiding her, and just, like, well, I've been avoiding her, but I didn't really, like, understand really why until now, and, like, now that I do, I just feel, like, incredibly guilty and stupid, and, like, dumb, because, like, my grandma is just, she needs someone to support her, but she doesn't want me. But I mean, I'm the only one who can support her right now. So, like, it has to be me. So, like, she just needs to accept that. And I need to get it through her thick skull that I'm going to support her. And I don't fucking care what she says or thinks. Because, in the end, we're either going to continue our ways of ignoring each other. And she's just going to continue to be Little Miss Independent and waste away and die alone, virtually, because we'll be ignoring each other. Or I can support her as best I can, and we can get through it together. And she'll die naturally in, like, whatever, in a couple years, rather than the steady, steep decline that she's going through right now, because she just thinks she's Little Miss Independent and can do everything herself, when she really can't. Okay? She needs me. She just refuses to accept that. And, so yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. And I just have to figure out how to get it through her thick, stubborn ass fucking skull that I am going to fucking take care of her. And I don't fucking care what she has to think. Because right now, she thinks that she can be Little Miss. I don't want to eat. She literally eats, like, maybe, like, a quarter of what I eat. Which I eat a lot. I will not lie, like, this potato is fat, okay? I know that. But, like, hold on. She eats about, like, a quarter of what I eat every day. And so that's, like, very small. And her excuse every time I mention it is, I'm getting older, I don't need to eat as much. No, it's not that. It's, like, she's literally, like, wasting away because she's not eating. Like, she'll be like, oh, yeah, I ate today. And I'm just like, oh, really? I don't see any dishes, any plates in the sink, because I do the dishes. And I don't see any plates at all. I see cups upon cups. So she probably had her one little cup of coffee, which is not fucking breakfast, that's a drink, Grandma. That's not a breakfast. 2, the other cups were probably, like, random cups of tea. So she didn't have any food, and I know that, and I just kind of ignore it, because I'm just like, well, she does her way, and I'll do mine, because she just fucking ignores me or whatever. And I can't do that anymore, because literally in a few months or so, if she continues not to eat, she's going to fucking die. So, like, I need to, like, get on her ass and be like, look, Grandma, okay? I get it. You want to be independent. If I was your age, I would want to be independent, too. But, I mean, like, I love you, okay? And despite what you may think, I don't hate you and I don't want you to die, okay? Obviously not, because I'm living with you. And it's not just because I'm living with you, it's because you're my grandma and I love you and, like, we're family and I don't want you to die. And I know my dad is very close to you, my uncle's very close to you, Saoko, my uncle's ex-wife, who's the mom of my cousins, is very close to you, my cousins are very close to you. Like, a lot of people revolve around you, and you just decide to give up on life because you feel like you're alone when you're not alone. You have a great support system. You just choose to ignore it because you think you're Little Miss Independent. But you can't be Miss Independent anymore, so you're giving up on life because you can't support yourself anymore and you don't want to admit that. And so you're giving up. And it's not okay. And I'm going to try and fix you. And if I can, then great. And if I can't, I will keep fucking pushing until I get there, because I'm not letting you die alone like you want to. Because you seemingly want to, because she literally doesn't eat anything. She lays in bed a lot. She sits on the couch a lot. She's literally like getting so skinny. It's scary. And last time she had a little blood pressure scare straight, and like the next time that happens again, or God forbid I get her sick, she's gonna die because her immune system is so weak because she's not eating anything. And she seems to think that's okay, that I can go away peacefully. I've lived too long. That's what she always says, and it's not okay. Okay? I'm gonna make sure she lives a full and happy fucking life. I know, 96 years old, you would think she has a full and happy life. Okay? Well, I am going to make sure that she doesn't die because she chose to die that way by starving herself or like getting sick, because just like stupid reasons that could be prevented, because I'm not going to let that happen, okay? I'm going to prevent that as much as possible. And if she dies in her sleep, thank God. And if she like dies because of something that I couldn't prevent or no one else can prevent, then that's okay too. And yeah, but I'm not going to let her die over something that I can prevent. So that's how it's gonna go, because I am not dealing with her death on my hands, and I'm not dealing with that guilt, and I don't want to, yeah, and then, hold on, yeah, so that's basically where we're at, and I'm gonna try my hardest to do what I can to help my grandma, because I don't want her to die. I mean, she is going to die, and I know that. It's going to be in the next 5 years at most, probably. And much sooner if I don't do something. So I need to do something, and I'm going to talk to her either later today or tomorrow or something, because, like, we can't just keep living, like, ignoring each other and her wasting away. It's not going to happen, okay? I'm going to explain to her that, bitch, you need to fucking live, okay? Because too many people depend on you. Too many people love you for you to just die on your own because you want to die. So, like, excuse you, bitch. I get it. You want to be independent. And I've already said this, so I'm not going to say it again. But, yeah, so that's it. I will eventually have the courage to actually say this straight to the face of my grandma, but I don't know if it's currently right now, so I decided to say it straight to the face of myself, aka a camera. You're welcome.